It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you.
Brought to you by Joe Longhammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning, good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'm sitting next to my favorite co-host, Dr. Teresa, LaShay Maureen Moore.
That is not my name, but good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T. Happy Saturday. Even though Regina done gave me everybody else's middle name, that is not my middle name, Regina.
She is a man.
She is.
But you know what? See, I'm super excited about this show because once a month, what is the name that you came up with, Dr. T?
So we got the Millennials on the move. I'm so excited about this new segment with the Millennials that is kicking off today. Well, actually, it kicked off last month with LaShay McKether.
Hello.
Yes. And then this young lady, she's celebrating her anniversary, so she was busy for us last month. She probably was still thinking about being on the Millennium and the Move, So, we told her she didn't have a choice because we're going to be going to Saginaw every month. Every month she's going to be calling in from Saginaw.
Yeah, so
Nice.
We have Delicious Sweets herself, Cierra Warren.
Yo, baby girl.
That is right.
Good morning, Cierra.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Yay.
And then you know what? I love this because, I get to thinking about, we're talking about hair, we're talking about makeup, and we're talking about food. Actually, those are my two favorite things. I wake up every morning, I got to put my makeup on, right? Then when I think about food, delicious sweets, when I think about getting sweets, oh my word. I mean, I'm excited. Millenniums on the move.
Yes. So we kicking it off with you, Cierra. So good morning again, Cierra.
Good morning. So I'm so happy to be on today. We're talking about collaboration over competition today.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Isn't that a good one, Shay?
That's a good one.
Let's go. What you got for us?
Okay. So, I've been in business for just celebrated 11 years, and there's a myth that people believe that you have to do business alone and keep everything to yourself. Mm-hmm. And when I first started in business, I used to think that way too. And I was really mindful of who I would share my business with, or I felt like if I did things with others in my industry that they would take things away from me. But I found out that that's not true. So I found out that it is very important to collaborate with others because it expands your network. Mm-hmm. For example, I'm on the show with you guys today. So there's listeners who's going to find out about Delicious Sweets just because I'm on this show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I may get customers just because I'm connected with you all. So I've gotten rid of the myth that I have to do business alone and I have to only work with people who do or just work by myself because I want to keep everything to myself. And it's a lot easier when you work with others and you collaborate with others. For example, there's this lady who I met a couple months ago at an event. And a lot of times people don't like to do events if there's going to be somebody who's doing the same thing as you. Mm-hmm. But I believe that it's good when other people are there to do the same thing as you because you can connect with them. And then it takes all the pressure off of you. Mm-hmm. So me and this young lady, we connected. And we started talking, and she was saying, people pit us against each other because they make everything about a competition. And I told her, I said, when I first started, I didn't have anybody that would help me. And I reached out to people trying to work with them and collaborate with them, and they wouldn't help me. So I've adopted this motto where I'm going to help anybody who I can help because I don't look at them as my competition.
Why do you think?
And I realized,
But why do you think people didn't want to help you in the beginning though?
well, sometimes people think that you're going to take something from them. Oh, I'm not going to help her because if I show her or I invite her to this, then she's going to take my customers or she might be better than me.
So you know what?
That's really not the case.
But I found too that at the end of the day, when you provide a service, that service is needed everywhere. And so, just like you go to a grocery store, there might be 1,000 different grocery stores. You got Kroger, you got Walmart, and the things that set those things apart is individually, we all have our own characteristics and our own different attributes that sets you apart from everyone else. So it's definitely more, it's enough room for everybody.
I like that.
I like that. I like just like that fact that you engaged like that, because I was just gonna say, Shay, can you say something on that? Because it was a younger point. We're the older part, but it's the millennium. It's the millennium. Sierra talking, right? But it's the millennium talking to the millennium. Go ahead. I just wanted to say because that was.
But
on
yeah,
point.
I agree totally with that, Sierra. That's so important to know that it's enough room for everybody, and we all are just trying to pretty much do the same thing. Everybody is just trying to provide a service and do things that make each other happy. So
That's good.
definitely.
That's good. Well, Sierra,
Absolutely.
I wanted to address something you said. You said that most people don't want to collaborate because they feel like you're going to take something away from them. And what I've learned is, just like Shay made the difference with the different grocery stores, when you go into a grocery store, you're going to see Wonder Bread, you're going to see Sunbeam Bread, you're going to see Hungry Man Bread, you're going to see all kind of bread, but we all have a different liking. And so what I like about collaborating is that, you know what, I may like banana pudding, you might like lemon bars, but you know what, let's talk about them. Let me share my experience and you share your experience. We come together. That's good.
Yeah. And I found too, just being in that industry, in the hair industry, that, everybody, like you said, has a different thing that they cater to.
Yeah. That's good.
So it might be necessary that you collaborate with that person because they could offer something else that you don't.
That's good.
And she's good with that. She's good with that because when Sarah has her
cake and sip,
and you had a bartender there, right? Wasn't it a bartender? And, right?
Yeah, food there.
Right.
Yep, we have a bartender. We have a DJ. We order food from other people. So it's, and honestly, when you bring other people in, you're allowing them to eat too. And then you don't know who they may ask you to come to one of their events. And honestly, a lot of times where I've gotten places or even opened some of my locations, it was because I was connected to other people who told me about another place. So you have to network with other people and get out of the small-mindedness so that you can go to another level. Because you don't know everything. And it's people out there that have something that you need, and they have things that you don't know, things that they can introduce you to as well as people.
That's good.
If I need a car, where I'm going.
That's right. That's right. To the queen. That's right. That's right.
Right, I'm going to the queen.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I want to encourage individual millenniums. Oh, it doesn't matter what age you are. And it's funny, millenniums have to say this. They have to bring the topics to us, right? Because this happens at all ages. People don't want to collaborate. People don't want to talk because they're thinking, well, you got more than I do, or you got this, or I got to eat. No, how can we all work together? That's the reason why we have our segment. If you got merchandise you want to give away, you can give us the merchandise, and then we can help you. We can help you with
Build
it.
your brand,
We can help you build your brand.
Yeah. And so, Sierra, I wanted to ask you this question. You talked about collaboration versus competition. And because I am your mother, I noticed that a lot of people didn't want to help you. So it's encouraging to hear you say you're going to help everybody. I've seen you help some of the big people in the business. Now I've seen you help them with small things. And so tell us, you're in that mindset, but not only do you help everybody, but you're reaching back, grabbing the kids. So kind of tell us,
I love that.
especially with the collaboration, how are you collaborating with the children? Even on yesterday at your anniversary, tell us about the collaboration with the children.
So yesterday we did cookie decorating with the youth at a Baptist church in Saginaw, Michigan. And they wanted me to come there to teach the kids how to decorate cookies. So I did. And I always love when I have kid classes because they're so receptive and they're so young and they listen to what you have to say. And it's like you see this small person who's very interested in what you're doing and they're fascinated and they don't have all these preconceived notions or they don't feel a certain way about you. They just know you're there for what you're there for and they're excited about it. So I love doing that with kids. I teach cake classes with kids. We just did one for Halloween. I did the cookie class for the kids. And then I mentor a young lady right now who's opening up a popcorn shop in Saginaw, Michigan. So I didn't even know she was going to open the popcorn shop when we started working together. But I just volunteered my time to help her in any questions she had, things that she was struggling with when it came to her Serve Safe, anything that I could do to help her be successful. I made sure that I was available to do that. And then I started letting her sell her popcorn in one of my stores. And I didn't charge her, but I remember when I was young and I was trying to get my stuff out there, and there was somebody who helped me. And this person was in Saginaw. This didn't have anything to do with me trying to learn how to decorate cakes because there were people that told me they couldn't help me, they didn't want to help me. But this lady I met in Saginaw, complete stranger, she let me use her facility to have pop-up shops every single week. And she told me I didn't have to pay her anything. And that made a huge impact on my life because, it was huge. That made a really big impact on my life because she was willing to open her doors and help me and not charge me anything. So I wanted to always be able to do that for other people. One, because there was a time when people wouldn't help me with things that I was asking for. And two, when I met her, like, she didn't even know me, but she saw the vision and what I was doing, and she just had available space. So she said, here's a key, whenever you want to use it. And I want to be just like that to anybody I can help, whether it's advice. I had a lady who is a photographer who called me last week to ask me what I thought about a new product she's bringing out and how she should set it up in her current business. And, you know, she was very excited that I took the time to send her a voice message, but I told her anything I can do to help. Anybody who has a business, whether it's a kid, adult, whether they've been in business, I'm always going to try to make myself available to help them because there's people who won't help and there's people who don't tell them things. And I'm going to be the person that's going to help.
That's good. That's good. So, Cierra, tell us about, the listeners, how they can reach Delicious Sweets. And I also want you to hit on the 2.0 experience that you will be speaking at soon.
Oh, wow.
So you can find me at Delicious Sweets on Facebook, Delicious Sweets on Instagram, and our website is www.dsibakeshop.com. Again, that's www.dsibakeshop.com. And you want me to talk about the upgrade experience.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the upgrade experience is put on by Latrice Goodwine, who is a financial coach in Saginaw, Michigan. And I've been working with Latrice for about 2 years. She has this event where people from all over Atlanta, Texas, Tennessee, Detroit, people from all over come in to this so they can learn how to upgrade their finances and their business. So you don't have to be a business person. You could just want to upgrade your finances, or you could want to do both. But I was there last year, and I had an opportunity to share my experiences with working with Latrice. And this year I am a panelist, so I will be speaking, giving tips about business and my experience in working with Latrice and upgrading my finances from last year. So if anybody's looking for an upgrade, come to the upgrade experience. It's going to be November 11th and 12th in Saginaw, Michigan. You can find tickets on Eventbrite. Just type in the upgrade experience and you'll get all the information you need.
That's good. So I wanted to put that out there to all the listeners because, collaboration is real. And I just want to, shout out Latrice Goodwine. She's collaborating. She has helped Cierra upgrade in so many ways and to get our finances in order. And so since we are talking about millennials on the move, there is a lot of millennials out here moving, and we salute you today.
Thank you.
Well, the great thing about the millennials is that they the new way.
Yeah.
They show us a new way.
Yeah.
And I know that when you were thinking about that topic, you always say to me, you got to let the Lord give you the topic, and you let the Lord lead you in this. What's one thing you want to leave us with again before you leave?
Cierra.
I know Cierra's name. I know Cierra's name. Cierra Warren. I know her name. Okay.
Everybody
the owner
gonna know
of
her name.
Delicious Sweets.
Everybody gonna know her name.
I want you to leave this with us. If you want to buy, you don't have to just be in Saginaw to get to buy your
Sweets.
I was about to say food. I steal food.
Them Krav'n cookies.
Yeah, Krav'n cookies. Let's talk about the Krav'n cookies real quick for 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
So, Krav'n cookies is probably one of the best cookies you'll ever taste. And I'm not just saying that, but I literally get people say that every day that they come into the cookie shop. So we bake our cookies fresh. We can ship them to you no matter where you are. You can send us an email at cravncookies@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook at Krav'n Cookies, and we will send them to your door.
Now I am craving cookies. I want some cookies. Sound good.
So we're going to have Cierra send some to me so that I can give some to the studio and share when we come in. So when we go live, we can be eating a Krav'n cookie.
I can't eat it, though.
We'll eat it for you.
Well, thank you, Cierra Warren, owner of Delicious
Sweets.
Sweets. Happy anniversary. Happy 11-year anniversary to you.
Yeah. And listen, we're going to ask you all to join the sweet movement. Y'all come on, join the sweet movement.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Talk to you same time next month. Happy Saturday.
All right.
All right.
Happy Saturday.
We'll be right back with LaShay McKether, owner of Glamorous Rebels.
Hair and beauty.
Oh, it's smooth.
Ooh. Regina, the Queen of Carlone's here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Good morning. You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we still have our Millennium segment.
Yes, I'm excited about it. Happy Saturday again, everybody. So listen, we got the Glamorous Rebel, LaShay McKether. So good morning, Shay.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. So Shay, what we talking about today?
Oh, well, last time I was here, I know that I touched on treatments and different treatments that were good for your hair. So I wanted to touch back again on keratin treatments because that's specifically what I do and specialize in is not only hair extensions, but also, taking care of what's underneath those hair extensions, and that would be your natural hair. So keratin treatments, they oftentimes kind of get this misconception that it's a straightening treatment when really it's a smoothing treatment. So it's going to help decrease your frizz by 85% and also encourage hair growth. It's a protective shield. And it has a 24K gold. I don't know if many people know that, which is kind of cool. It has 24K gold, so that's your heat protectant. And a lot of people, our curly girls, especially in Detroit, we like to wear our silk presses. We like to wrap. We like to see that hair bouncing and flowing in the wind. I be seeing women when they leave our shop, and it's like they be a total different person. When they leave that shop and that hair is silky, and the wind gets to blowing and stuff. I mean, that hair just be bouncing in the wind. So I'm just encouraging everybody during the season change. It's feeling drier. Your sinuses is all messed up and everything. Your whole body is affected by that, including your hair. The weather changes. So get your keratin treatments. I'm singing like Miss Regina, the Queen of Carlos.
That's what I write. That's right.
Rubbed off on Shay now.
That's right. That's right.
I got two of them in here singing.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
So get your keratin treatments, please. Because like I said, it's going to be a protective shield and it's going to encourage hair growth. About 75%, well, I'll just say 85 to 95% of my clients, like majority, see a difference in their hair and the length when they come back to get their second treatment. Their treatments do last up to 5 months of the keratin, but it's very essential that you use your aftercare products as well, which is a keratin shampoo that comes with your service. So yes, keratin treatments are the go-to right now. People are very rarely doing relaxers anymore. If you're doing a relaxer, please stop. I'll just say that because it's you're risking overlapping that area that's already permed or relaxed, and that is what's causing your breakage. So if you want your hair to be shiny and flowy and just overall luminous and give you that bounce that you're looking for without worrying about the 2 to 4 hours of getting it straight like that, because it also reduces your time, definitely a keratin is for you.
Well, what I find is I was having a conversation over the weekend with someone about weight loss, right? And matter of fact, it was Friday at work. Her sister got a car for me, and we're talking about weight loss, and people went out and they had all these surgeries, but they don't follow up after the fact of what they've been told. Just know I've lost 30 pounds, but no surgery. If you want to know what I go on, you can always go to reginathequeenofcarlos.com and you can message me or ask me questions about about my weight loss. But listen,
she over there looking good.
Hey,
like a snack.
A snack. So anyway,
this
listen.
morning.
That's that millennials. Okay.
Really, because I love the way she said that.
Real big.
Right. And because my head got bigger.
You see?
So listen. So it's very important. I'm glad you said that. It's the aftercare, because a lot of people get their hair done and they think that, oh, it's supposed to look like that for the next 2 weeks or the next week of whenever you get your hair done. But they don't think about the aftercare.
Yes, that's so vital. If you're gonna get a keratin, you have to, and I would not suggest getting one without asking your cosmetologist or hairstylist. Because I don't like to use the word beautician, but cosmetologist or hairstylist.
Ooh,
that
she teaching me.
You need your keratin shampoo and conditioner to go with your treatment. If you don't, of course, come to me.
Well, Shay, tell me why you don't like the word beautician.
Because I feel that a beautician, the title beautician, it kind of takes away from the knowledge that you have as a cosmetologist.
Okay.
When you're a cosmetologist, you have gone to school, you've sucked education, you've spent money, just like a doctor. You know what I mean? It's just like a doctor or dentist. We all go to school and spend good money on our education. So a beautician a lot of times is known for having an apprenticeship. So they work with someone closely. And it's not that they're not knowledgeable, but at the end of the day, they didn't spend that top dollar for that certificate the way that a cosmetologist has. So that is the difference between a beautician and a cosmetologist, is just the different education level.
So let me say this real quick, Shay. I'm giving everybody their own commercial. Can you do your own commercial and tell everybody how they reach you real quick?
Yes, you can reach me at the Glam Rebel Hair and Beauty, and that's spelled on Instagram, Glam, GLAM, Rebel, REBEL, X, Hair and Beauty. So I can be contacted there. And my phone number is 248-462-9711. You can also contact me personally to book any appointments, or if you have any questions or concerns, I love to answer any questions that people have. And I also do consultations. So
Well, let's do it again. Let's say it again for the people in the back, in the front, and in the middle. Repeat.
again, you can reach me on Instagram at Glam Rebel Hair X Beauty, as well as my phone number, which is 248-462-9711.
So let me just say for the people out there that's listening, consultation is one consultation limited to 10 minutes. If you think you're going to talk for a half hour, you're not getting a half hour. So understand if you're going to consultate, you're going to consultate and you're going to get your hair done by her. If not,
In the future.
And
Right. not
if
that
not, if you think that you're going to call and you're going to ask 5-6 questions and take it somewhere else, that's not what we do.
And that's
We
where I do
educate.
suggest that we
Yes.
do a consultation
Yes.
so that I can actually speak with you, because I can't. I got
Yes.
2 babies.
Yes.
I cannot be on the phone with everyone
Yes,
as much
and
as
she
I enjoy it.
right, and she has a husband, so we
Yes,
just want to
and he
make
would not
sure.
be happy.
Right, Shay is about her monies, but how does she get her money? She's young, she's vibrant, just like Cierra. It's about education, and that's what she wants to share.
That's good.
yeah,
That's good. I
yeah.
love it.
And I also, one last thing I wanted to share is that I will have a new hair growth edge control coming out. Yes, it'll be available Black Friday. So you'll be able to also order that on my site, which is www.glamorousrebelshair.com. And again, that's www.glamorousrebelshairco.com.
So I know that you had a couple more things you wanted to share. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a few minutes. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back so that you can share that. We're going to take a station break, a syndicated station break, because Joe Longhammer, owner, president of Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, just texted and called and said, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, I need to hear the Queen of Car Loans commercial. And I need to hear the other commercials by who?
Marilyn Walker and attorney LaShonda Lewis.
And Brenda Denise Davis,
Brenda
that realtor that
Denise
moves you commercial.
Davis,
Yes.
The realtor that moves you.
Shay's
That's my mama.
mother.
That's my mama.
We'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others are simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you.
Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate can make it a smooth, hassle-free experience. Our award-winning offices and the outstanding personal service offered by Brenda Davis and her professional sales associates guide you through the maze of infinite details surrounding the purchase or sale of your home, helping you become familiar with a new area, finding the right home for your family, arranging financing, and settling in a timely fashion is our priority. Assuring that your relocation is a pleasant experience is our ultimate goal. Brenda Davis, an associate broker, is a 21-year career licensed realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and a board member of the North Oakland County Board of Realtors. Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you.
Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis and Law, 248-785-3780. We are are a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. We're back, and you still listen to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we are going to continue the conversation with LaShay McKether, owner of
The Glamorous Rebel.
Located where?
Sterling Heights. Here you go, Shay.
Yes, I'm again located on 18 Mile in DeQuinder in Sterling Heights. But yeah, so again, I was just touching bases on my edge control, which will be out on Black Friday. So I'm excited about that because it's also, as I've said before, I am an advocate for hair care. So this one helps promote hair growth as well as hydration in the hair, and it provides you a 24-hour hold.
Okay, so hold up.
So if you going somewhere, you gonna know them edges gonna be laid.
Hold up. Why you always ease stuff in? I got my edge control coming out on Black Friday. That is a big deal.
It is.
Let's give you some kudos.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know what? I wear the weaves. Put the weaves on my head. But will it lay down the hair that you buy in the store?
It will, but I would just use it very lightly. Like if you need to use it just to smooth away any flyaways or something, you could just use
so I can use
very little amount and rub it in your hands and lay it.
Okay,
but Shay, nowadays they making their own baby hair lay down. You seeing the hair laid down before you see the style, so they can use the edge control to lay that baby hair down.
Yes, you can.
Lay it down.
Curl it and slick it.
Okay, curl it and slick it.
Yes, you can curl it and buy it. Yeah, they have all types of stuff now where you can tattoo it. I've seen the tattoo ones. I don't know if y'all ever tried the tattoo ones. You have to tell me how that was for you, because I'm a little skeptical over here.
I don't know nothing about that. That's not in my generation. Dr. T, that's in yours?
I have no clue about that.
I don't even
They
know what
come
she's
out with
talking
the
about.
craziest things, and I saw somebody on a reel, and she had laid it on there. She put the water, just like with little kids, how you put it, the water, you wet the little paper and it peel off. That's what they do now.
Oh, so she had a little, she could remove the tattoo.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. That's something a little
I think
different.
that's good for people who suffer with things like alopecia or obviously are cancer survivors and things like that. Kudos to them. So, yeah, they have a lot of things out there now. But I want to just shed light again. This 24-hour edge control is going to change your life.
Why you call it 24 hours?
Because it literally lasts 24 hours. Like, you put it on there and it will... It holds it. You don't have to worry about it moving or frizzing up, or sometimes like your edges get curly just from it being overly hydrated. You do have to make sure you close that top though. A lot of people don't know that they have to close their edge control right after.
Let's talk about this for a minute. This is your own edge control?
Yeah.
You made it?
Yeah.
You did the ingredients?
Yeah, I've looked up the ingredients.
Okay, so you actually made it yourself?
On different things. It takes a lot, and it's not something that just happens overnight.
Yeah, you have to test products together. But you know what? I did want to not only just give you kudos, but last month was Cancer Awareness Month and also Domestic Violence Month. So many people who are diagnosed with cancer, they'll lose their hair. And you said something about alopecia. So as a stylist, as a hairpreneur, an extraordinary hair person, for someone who's battling with a loss of hair and even with domestic violence, a loss of self, you're creating things for them. So how is this edge control? How would that help somebody whose hair is just growing back? Does it promote hair growth?
It does promote hair growth. So, for women who are dealing with even postpartum, you kind of lose your edges a little bit with postpartum. I know that I did, and sometimes you have those spaces and things like that. Because this does have castor oil in it and aloe vera, it's encouraging those hair follicles and it also sends like a stimulation to your hair follicles as well for growth. But I do always recommend that people who are dealing with alopecia, that you don't necessarily use something as heavy as an edge control. This product is definitely for people who aren't necessarily dealing with those things. In reference, I was referring to the tattoo baby hairs that they have. But when you're using edge control on your hair and you're already dealing with hair loss, it's really important that you just kind of give your scalp a breather and a break and allow your hair to breathe. because just constantly packing on edge control is not going to necessarily, promote the hair growth follicle. A lot of times it's all just depends on your background. Like you said, some people deal with chemo, some people deal with mineral deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies that can also, and that comes from different medications that you take. So just really doing a thorough consultation. It's easy for me to just say, yeah, this gonna work for everybody, but I'm not a liar, and I don't do that. Yeah, so it would definitely be necessary to do a full consultation to know what your specific hair needs. And when you're dealing with medical things, you should definitely seek medical advice. I am a cosmetologist, so I'm not.
She's not a
doctor.
Beautician. She's a cosmetologist.
Yes,
She's
I'm
gonna make me change my word. Cosmetologist.
Yep, and I'm not a dermatologist either. So if you do have those type of hair concerns, you should see a dermatologist because then that'll. A lot of times they're able to prescribe you different medicated shampoos and things like that to encourage it. So that's very important. Don't just take anybody's word. If you are dealing with hair loss, definitely seek a second opinion, and or sometimes a third opinion, just to be sure that that's what your hair needs.
So you got 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Go ahead. It's your show again.
Okay. So if you are also dealing with, or you're a person who likes to get hair color, that's also another thing that I specialize in. I love doing color, and as my mom was talking about earlier, I did her cut and curl and color as well. Color, cut, and curl. Is that what you said? Cut. The CCC.
Wait a minute, she in the studio still, and I just I just said collaboration was today because we had history. I got to break in here. CC, what's your name? Dr. T. Dr. T was on the phone with CC, right? She called him Saginaw. They in the studio together, and then Brenda and Shay, our mother and daughter. So we had history today. I'm so excited. I'm about to cry. Just kidding. But that means a lot to my heart that we all was together today. We got to get CC in 1 month. 1 month.
But if you're a person that likes to do hair color, I'll just recommend that you do things that are going to help, keep your hair strong for your hair color services. And also maybe just working in some baby steps. Highlights. I like to talk about highlights a little bit too, because, a lot of times people want to do an all over hair color, and sometimes your hair can't take all of that all at once. So if you're still looking for a little, pizzazz or, just something to jazz up your hairstyle and give you a different look, I want you to consider doing highlights as well, because there's, different techniques that they use where you don't have to do as much hair color, but you still, just have a little bit of a switch up in your hairstyle. So shout out to my mama because she look good.
Listen, so I'm in the studio and I see what she's talking about. So again, for those who, the CCC was cut, color, and curl, right? So listen, Shay, tell our listeners how they can reach you.
You can reach me on my phone. It's just 248-462-9711. Or you can also contact me on Instagram, Glam Rebel Hair X Beauty. Again, that's Glam Rebel Hair X Beauty.
So you heard it here, everybody. On Be in the Driver's Seat, we had the Glamorous Rebel join us today, and we also had Cierra Warren from Delicious Sweets. So we'll be right back because we need to take a break, because Joe Longhammer called Regina and said, Regina, it's time for my commercial to roll. So we want you all to listen in. And we have Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you commercial, Marilyn Denise Walker, and LaShonda Lewis Law. Be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me will get a $75 gift card to Times Square Men's Custom Suits on Livernois Avenue. Suits for all occasions. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you.
Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate can make it a smooth, hassle-free experience. Our award-winning offices and the outstanding personal service offered by Brenda Davis and her professional sales associates guide you through the maze of infinite details surrounding the purchase or sale of your home, helping you become familiar with a new area, finding the right home for your family, arranging financing, and settling in a timely fashion is our priority. Assuring that your relocation is a pleasant experience is our ultimate goal. Brenda Davis, an associate broker, is a 21-year career licensed realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and a board member of the North Oakland County Board of Realtors. Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you.
Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis and Law, 248-785-3780. We're a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am still your host since last commercial. Dr. T didn't fire me. Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet. So today is a very important day. Well, November
8th, 2022 is the day that we are set to vote. So This particular portion of the segment, we're going to be talking about the importance of voting. So for all the listeners out there, if you have not registered to vote, you still can go online, the Secretary of State.gov. You can go on and register, but we need every person that is able to get out and vote. This is an important election, and we need you all to cast your vote. Now, we can't tell you who to vote for, but as a citizen, you have been given the right to vote, so utilize your right.
And it's important to utilize your right is because you got to think maybe 2 generations ago when you didn't have the right to vote. Yeah. And too many times people sit around and they say, well, I can't do nothing about it. Well, yes, you can. And we're not telling you how to vote, whether you're Republican or you're a Democrat. We're just telling you to go vote. And we figured this segment that we were kind of just talk to, we have, we're, the millenniums are in the beginning, right? So we got the millennium Shay who's going to share how she feels about voting. And then we have her mom in the studio to share how she feels about voting. So this is mother and daughter that actually is going to be voting actually together. Am I right? Are you guys voting together? Or?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're going to be voting together. I can only say to the audience out there that's listening, again, I agree with the importance of voting, so much so that I made certain that my daughters were aware of the right that they have to vote and to exercise that right. I can tell you that my father, who is now deceased, came to live with us for a few years before his death. But I cannot communicate to you and express to you the joy that was on his face when I told him, Dad, we're going to vote. And that's when Obama was running for president. He smiled all day long because he was able to exercise his right. He voted for the candidate of his choice, and he had some say-so in what's going on in our communities and in this democratic U.S. of A. that we live in. So to me, it's something without doubt. There's nothing that I'm doing that day that's so important that I can't take the time out to let my voice be heard. There are so many issues that are being brought to the table today, and you don't want to be the one that sat back and did not let your voice be heard, and then whatever the outcome is said, they were going to do what they wanted to do anyway. Or my voice didn't count because your voice wasn't heard. So don't be one of those. Take very seriously the right to vote and let your voice be heard. And whether it works out the way you want it to, if it's positive for the way that you voted or not, at least you can say that you gave your thoughts, your opinions, and your vote. So just do it.
And you took accountability for your future as well. As a millennial and a new mom, I find that it's even more important, more than ever, to be aware of what's going on in our state and what's going on with our kids' school systems, and to be able to have a say-so in that, because they are our future, and those are the people that we are raising to take over for our legacies in the future. So if you didn't think it was that important before and you're a new parent and you just became a parent, think about your children, the things that they're going to have to go through in their school systems or just in the future, and what you want to try to prevent for them, because I feel like as most parents, we feel like it's our job to protect them.
That's good.
So please go vote. And I'm going to make it my duty to make sure that I do it as soon as the doors open.
That's good. That's good. So there's a lot at stake, listeners. So if you do not know who's running in your precinct, you need to go to socialsecurity.gov. That's www.sos.state.mius.gov and look at who's on your ballot. You're going to have to put your county that you live in. You're going to have to put your precinct that you vote in, and every person that is in your precinct and in your county will come up. But I do not want you to negate the fact that we will be voting for governor and lieutenant governor also this quarter, in this term. So do not hesitate to look on Social Security's their website so that you can know who is in your county running. Just as Shay said, there's individuals. I live in Oakland County. There's definitely individuals on the ballot for the school district. There's the circuit judge is on. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people that we have to look at to see who we're going to vote for. Even for the community college there. Oakland Community College, there's people that we need to vote for there, as well as the University of Michigan is on there, the regents and the trustees of University of Michigan.
And
the
business owners.
Yeah, business owners.
Oh, wow.
And Wayne State University. But don't slip on the proposals either. There's 3 proposals that's up. So please do your research. Again, we can't tell you what proposal, whether you should say yes or no, but what I am going to say, please do your research. It matters. Go beyond just the surface, what you think you're reading. Do a little research beyond that so you'll know what to vote for, because your future is at stake.
You know what? What's different about now, you have to do your research, is because, back in the day, I remember when I first started voting, it was okay, if you're a Democrat, you vote Democrat. If you're Republican, you vote Republican. Just looking at like a sample of the ballot, like who's running. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Judge of Appeals, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah.
Judge Court of Appeals. In our district, it's one person running. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the Justice of Supreme Court, mm-hmm. the names are just there. The judge names. Mm-hmm. So you can't just say you want to be Republican or Democrat, mm-hmm. because you don't know who's who.
That's true.
Right? So you got to do your research and know who you're voting for. If you don't have time to do your research, talk to your friends, talk to your family. And if they have some of the same beliefs that you have, then you might need to just kind of talk to them and just ask some questions.
Yeah. But what I like about this, Regina, is that, we live in the age of Google. so we can Google everything. We live in the age of Google. So if you really don't know, like I said, what the proposals are, Google them, read about them. Don't just take the word of mouth for someone else, because oftentimes people will sway you to voting the way they want to vote. And your future is at hand. And just as Brenda said, you don't have a voice when you don't let it be heard.
And I will say too, just make sure that you read those proposals over and over and over again, because it's tricky. The wording can be tricky. You could think that you're voting, on one way, and that you're voting a total different way. So just make sure that you look at and reread those proposals before you answer them. And like she said, if you need to Google while you sitting there, then you do what you got to do.
That's right. And don't feel like you're being rushed. If you need to Google something while you're there, you have that booth to yourself for as long as it takes.
So it's not you're going to.
No,
you don't have to rush.
There is no time limit. You take the time that you need to make an educated, well-informed vote. When you make your voice be heard, you want to make certain that it's being heard the way you intend it to be. But there are a couple of proposals that are on the ballot for Oakland County. One of the big ones is the transportation / mass transit.
Yes.
They're talking about increasing your property taxes by 0.95 points, and you're talking about millage points, and that can considerably increase your property tax, and it's going to be held in place for 10 years. Not only that, the basis on which they're using is not adequately or accurately stated, because they're using the base price, if you will, for condos and residential private single homes combined. And so that's bringing your average price point down, which is to their benefit, because they're trying to tell you from that price point, it's only going to cost you X number of dollars per year. But what they're not telling you is that over those 10 years, they're going to be collecting like $66.6 billion.
They're not telling us that, right?
Where is it going? How's it going to be used? What's your plan for our mass transit system? And I'll be honest about it. I think that as a metropolitan community, we should have mass transit. But I need to know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and how much the overall cost is going to be. So make sure you do your homework.
So, Brenda, thank you so much for
I'm sorry for laughing, but this is an in-house. That was an in-house joke.
We got
I am so
bloopers
sorry.
going on.
We do.
So, as you were talking, I was remembering, because I looked at the millage, and so they're going from 2022 all the way to 2031. So what you're saying is accurate. So again, listeners, you need to read beyond just what's on the pieces of paper that get sent to your door. You need to do some background reading. This matters. And for individuals that don't have homes, that may not have, they may be renting, it may be a little different for you. But we're talking about the overall whole for individuals.
Right, but Dr. T, what happens if you don't have a home today that you're purchasing? What about next year?
That's right.
What about 2 years down the road? What about 5 years down the road? This millage is going to be in place for a total of 10 years.
Yes.
And after that, they may very well ask for an increase or a continuation. So please read it. But then another one of the proposals there has to do with your voting rights. Make sure you read that.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're saying yes or no to.
I was just sharing with Brenda, just, you do need to know what you're saying yes or no to. And Shay made a good point. The wording matters. The wording matters. One word can change the whole trajectory of a paragraph. So pay attention.
It's just not about I just can't stress enough that we have all worked hard to be able to vote, period. We must utilize our right, our right to do anything, whether it's to vote, whether it's to anything. You got to utilize your right, just like your right that you have freedom of speech. You have the right to utilize that. So we honestly, the purpose of this small segment was to get the word out, let you know it's not too late, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, as a community, Regina, we know that our voting rights, not only here in the state of Michigan, but worldwide, have been jeopardized in so many different ways. So it's even more important that you go out to do what you have to do to voice your opinion and have your voices heard. Because voting is not something to take lightly. I mean, our forefathers, our great-grandparents and great-grandparents, they fought, suffered, some lost their lives to be given the opportunity to vote. And as we see it in today's world, those very rights and freedoms that we have are slowly but surely being taken away from us or being denied. So I just cannot stress it enough. You better speak up, because we don't want to hear anything from you after the fact. We got to hear it today. We got to hear it when you go out to the polls.
Well, you know what? You heard it from Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. If you're looking to lease your house or buy a house, 248-909-9711, 248-909-9711. And Brenda has that radio voice. I mean, she don't understand that she born to do this, and she don't like to let the microphone loose. Her and her daughter. I mean, they probably need to get their own podcast in a minute or something, because they don't like to let nothing go. They
don't
like to
encourage me, Regina.
Right.
Well, I'm excited though, Regina, because she tapped in and she talked about the mortgage, which is directly affecting, buyers,
Yes.
home buyers and
Yes.
stuff. This election is huge.
Yes, it is.
So I like that.
It is. So we'll be right back with the last part of our show. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me will get a $75 gift card to Times Square Men's Custom Suits on Livernois Avenue. Suits for all occasions. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
So, Dr. T, I love this part of our segment, because we're going to be talking about buying versus leasing. So, buying a car versus leasing. Mm-hmm. And the first point I want to bring about is ownership. If you buy your car, you own the vehicle, you get to keep it as long as you want. So, if you finance for 5 years, you pay it off. You can keep it for another 5 years if you want to. You can keep it for another 2 more years after you pay it off. Or if you buy your car and you want to trade in 3 or 4 years, you can. So that's the great idea of owning a car. Mm-hmm. Now, the flip side with leasing, you don't own the car. They came up with this sophisticated word of leasing, but I remember when I graduated from college and my dad got me a new car, and it was called a smart buy. And now is sophisticated word leasing, but it's still renting. We just call it leasing. But you don't own your vehicle, and you get to use it, but you got to return it at the end of your lease. So you don't own the vehicle at all. Mm-hmm. And I know you lease, Dr. T, but you know that you don't own your vehicle.
Yeah, I like the fact that I can get a new car every couple of years, every 3 years.
But, I love that too, so I can see you every 3 years.
Yeah, I like that. I like jumping in a new whip, but also, I'm thinking long term, so I think my next purchase will be a buy with the Queen.
Well, you're gonna say that your next purchase might be a buy, and then we also next year it's God already put it in the atmosphere. We already put it in the atmosphere. We're asking to, and we're looking to receive it. So sometime next year, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have our own vehicle with our faces and everything. Our vehicle wrapped, saying be in the driver's seat.
That's right.
So every time we go somewhere, or every time Dr. T, because Dr. T is really more out there than I am, because I'm at the dealership most of the time all day, and Dr. T she rolls around pretty much more than I do sometimes. So we're putting out an atmosphere, but that would be a purchase on our part more than likely, or it might even be a lease, because it might even be cheaper for us.
Well, I'm believing God, somebody's gonna give it to us. So I'm putting it out in the atmosphere that somebody's gonna gift us a vehicle that we can be in the driver's seat logo on. So it is now the time of year where gifting takes place. So for those of you that are listening, if God is placing it upon your heart where you should put your money, this is good ground. You can sow on this ground.
All right, I love that you said that. So the great thing about when you got upfront costs, you got upfront costs on a buy and a lease. So upfront costs on a buy this includes the cash price, the down payment, taxes, registration, and other fees. So when you're buying your car, you're going to pay for all this as you go. People say you're gonna pay for the upfront. Yes, you are gonna pay for the upfront, but you can also do a zero down buy. You don't necessarily have to put all this money out your pocket.
True.
Because a lot of people come in and say, well, do I got to pay for my taxes, or do I got to pay for my down payment? I mean, not me and my taxes or other fees. Other fees is your down payment, your tax registration. You got to pay it up front. Not necessarily you have to do that all the time. You don't. You can do zero down, and you can roll it in, but that means your payment's going to be higher. So that's your upfront cost. If you think about it, if you're leasing a vehicle, we have it where your first month's payment, a refundable security deposit. If you qualify for waiving a security deposit, you have to find that out by your salesperson or the finance manager. But you got your first month payment, you got your refundable security deposit, an acquisition fee, a down payment, taxes, registration, and other fees. But listen, when you lease a car, you can also get that zero down. You do not have to walk in and say, you know what, I don't want to put any money down. You can say that, or you can pay your upfront. But if you put down payment money, you're doing it for two reasons. One, you're looking to lower your payment. You're looking to get that payment that you can afford. So you're going to go ahead and pay those fees, your down payment, your taxes, your registration, and other fees. Or you can roll it in. That means your payment's going to be higher. But if you have Bruce credit, and everybody knows 67% of my customers have Bruce credit. So I might tell you, if you lease, and they might say you need to put $2,000 down, $3,000 down to get into this lease. Will you get that money back? No, you won't. And everybody pays an acquisition fee. That acquisition fee is the fee, whether it's $595 or $695, it's on your contract. That's the price of doing business at your leasing company. That's what GM Financial is passing to you to pay. So you're going to pay that regardless. There's no negotiation in that one, baby. It's acquisition fee because they got to stay in business. They got to pay their analyst who's approving or denying your loan, and pay all the other fees and offer the wonderful programs that they offer. And then monthly payment versus a buy and a lease. If you're buying, your loan payments are usually slightly higher when you buy a car versus a lease, but not always. I just bought me a convertible Camaro in June, and I had a lease price and I had a purchase price. For, I think it was like $30 or $40 more, or it could have been $50. I chose to buy it versus leasing because the residuals were not where they needed to be, so my payment could be lower. So I bought that vehicle. When I've been looking at this Camaro for about a year, right? I said I was going to lease it. But when I saw the market to where it was, I said I need to buy it. So that's what I did. So you just got to kind of weigh your pros and cons. But, and the next leasing, if you're leasing, your payment, usually they say it's going to be lower, right? But the payments you're paying on that vehicle because you're renting it. So you're not paying tax on the vehicle, just a portion. So just think about it. If you're on a lease, a buy, those are your pros, and those are your cons.
That's good.
I have some more, but we don't have time for that. I want you to get into that was part one, and I know part two we're going to have on our next show the following week.
Yes.
What you got, Dr. T?
So I'm so glad you asked me, right? So you were talking about the difference between leasing and buying, the pros and cons. So today I just want to clear up the question that a lot of people have asked me. Like, what is the difference between a therapist and a life coach? People ask that question all the time. So let me tell you up front, a therapist is someone who has actually gone to school. So, we are
And
millennials.
you are a therapist.
Yes, I am definitely a therapist. I am a psychotherapist.
You didn't buy the doctor you didn't buy it out the popcorn box?
I did not.
Or the cereal box?
I did not.
Or one like Superman or the toy in the Cheerios or the catalog, or because I want to buy doctor in front of my name, but I can't buy it.
I'm board certified, okay?
Ooh,
and so not only I'm board certified. And so let me clear this up. I went to school for 15 years straight. I was part-time and I went 15 years straight. I earned every degree, okay? And so therapists...
That's why I call you Dr. T.
That's right. I earned the title, Dr. T. Didn't nobody give it to me.
Well,
I went to school and
it's funny that you say that, and I'm going to close my mouth on this, okay? But when we had the segment with Shay, the Glamorous Rebel, right? She said she didn't want the beautician. She said cosmetology because we go to school for that. So cosmetology, not beautician.
Yeah.
And beautician is that's the old saying of 50 years ago, 60 years ago. So I like that cosmetology. I had to kind of laugh on that one.
But yeah, so that's the difference. Number one, the difference between a life coach and a therapist. Therapists are licensed. They go to school. Most therapists have a master's degree or higher, and we follow the code of ethics. That's like our Bible. That is the codes that we follow. Number one, to do no harm, further harm to the client, that we have to adhere to certain rules. Well, guess what? A life coach, although I love you, so no shade on life coaches. Anyone can be a life coach. Life coaches motivate. They encourage people to achieve specific goals. And life coaches are often interchangeable with therapists, but the difference is therapists, they are licensed, they go to school. Life coaches, they do not involve identifying and reducing symptoms. And, coaches often describe their work as being more positive. But therapists, we reduce symptoms. We identify triggers, and we help the client reduce the symptoms. And we also diagnose, we assess, and we treat mental illness. We do not write prescriptions, but we do work in collaboration with the psychiatrist, and we can also make suggestions if medication is needed. Coaches reduce and resolve the problems that stand in the way of the clients. So coaches is just like your basketball coach and your football coach. So again, this is no shade against the coach. You are needed, but you are encourage and motivate people to reach their goals. But therapists actually sit down and they really unpack the suitcase. They peel back the onion, and they cause the client to really look at themselves.
Like the banana. Peel back the banana peel.
Yes, like a banana. But I use the term onion because all of those who are cooks, or even if you're not a cook, if you cut an onion, if you peel it, when you put it in the refrigerator, a film gets over top of the onion if it stays in the refrigerator at a specific time. And guess what? We peel back the films. We help you peel back your layers. So that is the difference between a therapist and a life coach. Both are needed, but again, therapists are individuals who went to school. Therapists are individuals who are licensed, have a master's degree or higher, and we follow the code of ethics. So with that being said, Regina, we had a great show today. We thank you all for listening to us. Thank you for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. Please go to our website at www.beinthedriverseat.com to listen to past segments, and even this particular segment will be available to you in about a few days. So happy Saturday, everyone, and we'll see you next Saturday, same time, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Have a good week.
Good week.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Longhammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.